Hey guys, my name is Justin, and yeah, I'm a part of the indie pop duo Nonalign. We are a new duo band, and today I wanted to show you how we produced and made our brand new single, Little Too Late, which just came out last Friday, the 26th. So if you haven't heard it, I encourage you guys to go check it out. Or you could also watch the previous video, which is the actual song and lyric video, but wait until this is over. So this is a song that we've kind of had in our repertoire for several months now. We started writing on it back in November, December of last year. And the track really kind of started off with this synth thing that I came up with and some a drum loop. Really the vision for this song as we were beginning to wrap it up and trying to finish production on it was we wanted a song that had a lot of energy. And it's also kind of a breakup song as well. Very polar opposite from our first single, Spiraling, which is more of a love song and just kind of a quirky indie type song. We wanted something that would contrast that a little bit and have a lot of energy. And so it's pretty heavy energy, I would say. So let's just kind of dive right into it. We're just going to look at all of our synths first. We're going to take a look at that lead synth line. Okay, so essentially this is all of our synth patches and sounds. It's mostly pads, the lead line, and then our bass. We don't have any bass guitar on this track because I don't currently own a bass guitar. I do, however, own an electric guitar that you can pitch shift down, which we did that in our first single, Spiraling, fun fact. And so there's not a real bass on that track, but whatever bass you hear, it's that electric guitar pitch shifted down. And so we are using all MIDI synth bass for this track for A Little Too Late. This right here, this is the lead line. Crazy flute thing from Echo Soundworks. So the lead line is pretty straightforward. It's just the 1, the 3, and the 5. And the cool thing about this patch is the longer you hold the note, there's a little bit of a wobble there, which is really cool. And then what we did with some of the production, very much heavy on the side of reverb, a lot of reverb with the vintage verb. I love this verb. I mean, I would say a lot of people use this, probably everyone. The next thing we added was a decapitator, which is a Sound Toys plugin that I use, and it's a very heavy saturation and distortion. Just a massive difference. So the next plugin is going to be our one knob pumper by Waves. Now this is a plugin that has found its way on pretty much every track on this song. We probably overused it, but it really helped with the energy that we wanted. It just felt like it helped all of the tracks continue to move forward, which I feel like a one knob filter pumper can really help do that. So with that, this is what it sounds like. And then the last thing is just a stereo width imager, whatever you want to call it, by Waves to just give it a little bit more space. The next thing is our pads, and pretty simple. You know, I don't remember exactly what patch these two pads were, but I do know that we added the one knob pumper on there for certain and a lot of verb. After that, we've got our fuzz bass. We've got 3 basses, one that's got a lot of just distortion and saturation, which is our fuzz bass. Pretty sure it is a serum patch. So this is the fuzz bass here. Yeah, pretty simple. Also, it's got the one knob pumper on there if you can't tell. The second one is kind of a mid-range bass. And then our last one is our sub bass. I know for a fact on that one we added the Waves R bass, which kind of boosts certain frequencies. I think it was probably around like 40 or 50 hertz that I boosted. And then once again, the one knob pumper. So that's the bass tracks. And then one final thing in our synth little folder is this shimmer pad, which I found on Splice. It's nothing too special, but it definitely helps fill out that space. And it's actually a part of the intro. It's just that right there. And then all I did was add the one knob pumper. And this is what it sounds like with that. Just a prelude to what's to come. The next thing is our guitars, the guitar work. So we wanted the guitars to kind of emulate the same pattern as some of the synth tracks, especially with that one knob pumper. So all of the guitar tracks are very simplistic. There's nothing too elaborate, just a lot of one note picking. and just kind of moving around, trying to follow the melody and find what fits the best in certain sections. So this first guitar track number 1, is both panned left and right, and that's what I do. I typically record the same thing and pan it left and right. I'm pretty sure that the melody for that is just on the E string just up here, just 8th notes over and over, and then a lot of verb. I wanted it to be incredibly, incredibly wet. And then the next one is a bit of a more predominant one that has, once again, the 1-knob pumper on it. I love this. This is one of my favorite tracks on this song. So I'm pretty sure it's just the E string, and we're in the key of C, so it goes. Something like that. I use the HX Stomp. That's how I get a lot of my guitar sounds. And then you just add the 1-knob filter, and that's what we got. The next guitar track is going to be our pre-chorus. This one's pretty simple itself. All I did is just add a dotted 8th delay to the track. I'm pretty sure it's just a 2-note pattern. Just like that. And then you add that delay on top of it. It might not have been a dotted 8th. It might have been like a quarter triplet or something like that. I don't quite remember. So there's our pre-chorus guitar, and then the choruses are going to be the exact same as the intro. All of the intros and choruses for all of the synths, the drums, and the guitars is all the same. Going into verse 2, we wanted to try something a little bit different, just a bit of a different rhythm. And that's it. Same thing, 2 tracks, pan left and right. The cool thing about this track is in the second verse, we added kind of this section where everything drops out and it's just the vocals and then like a guitar hook. And so what I did with the guitars and then the synths and the bass is in Logic, you can add this fade where it either will fade out the audio, or you can speed up or speed down a certain section. And so that's what I did for this section. Everything drops out, and then as it comes back in, you'll hear it in the track. It kind of like speeds back up. And so that was a really cool trick and something fun that I was able to do. And then in between there is just this guitar hook. It just goes bum 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 bottom. Yeah, very simple. A lot of verb on that as well. Just like that. Pretty simple. And then I think there's kind of like a counter melody on the back side of that as well. But I did a low octave of that and then a high octave and stacked them. After that, we're going to move into the bridge with the bridge guitars. This is pretty straightforward. Just a lot of melodic picking. Nothing super elaborate, just trying to help fill the space. A lot of verb was added to this as well. It's kind of a down bridge, and I wanted it to be down leading up to the solo. And so the bridge guitars, you know, they're pretty straightforward and simple. Just something that kind of helps follow the melody and help move it forward. The next thing is in bridge number 2. As we repeat it, another set of guitars comes in. Yeah, pretty simple, just following the melody. And all of that is leading up to the guitar solo, which this was my favorite part. This was fun to write. It took a lot of time to just find something that worked. Eventually, I simplified it as much as I possibly could. It started out as something like I was just all over the neck trying to find something. It all just felt too busy for the song. And so we cut it down, we made it simple. I just went to the G string and then just something like that, and just stayed there, right? Just keep it simple. And then one cool little trick here, obviously, is just doing some reverse guitars. That's what this is right here. Kind of sounds like an organ. But all I did was just play the root, which is C. We're in the key of C. Played that heavily distorted, just a lot of energy, just a big diamond, and then bounced it, reversed it, and added a lot of reverb to it. And that, of course, leads us right into the solo, a massive solo. And that's it for the guitars. Next up, we have our drums, and just a side note, we don't have a drummer, and so all of the drums are either MIDI or samples from Splice or samples that we created. And so with the vision for the drums is obviously we want it to be a lot of energy, very high energy, and something that moves a lot. And instead of just doing like a normal like 4 on the floor, 8-note hi-hats like I was like, why don't we like just throw in some toms and just make it a really tom heavy song? And so that's basically what it is. So just a lot of tom fills essentially throughout the chorus and the intros. Yeah, I think it works really well. So we got our kick drum, our snare, the toms. I've got 2 separate hi-hat patterns going on, tambourine, cymbals, this pop snare that's on the 4 of each bar for the snare. Some very wet claps that go on as well, some reverses, a nice downer right here. That is also an Echo Works sample, I believe. But yeah, that's it for the drums. It's pretty straightforward and simple. And then last but not least is our vocals. And I'm not going to play through all of them because they're not tuned or mixed well. But Marty, of course, he's a great vocalist, a great singer. And so he is the lead on this track, on this song. We've got some songs coming up here in the next couple of months that I'm doing the lead on. For this one, Marty's got it. He's got that skyscraper vocal range. He's incredible. So the verses, they're all him. He's got some harmonies in there as well. And then the choruses, basically, we stack our choruses pretty heavy. We got our lead. We usually double those and pan them. We got our mid harmonies, our high harmonies, and then I usually do a low harmony and a low melody as well, just to give it a little bit more thickness because I have a bit of a deeper voice. And then we got our oohs. We got some oohs right here in our second verse, second pre-chorus actually. And then all we do with that is you just record a bukus of them, and you pan them and then bounce them together. It's pretty simple. And you try to fill the space with it. I also have this vocal throw in the bridge, which basically what you do is you just bounce a certain section that you want to have a vocal throw, and you put it on a new track, and then in that track you add a 1-bar delay so that way it stays away from the back half of the melody, if that makes sense. So that's essentially what this is. I'll just play those 2 things together here. It's simple. Just like that. And then that's really it, other than our ending ad-lib that Marty did, which we love doing ad-libs. Those are a lot of fun, but this is a little too late. Oh! Love that. Yeah, just a little too late. Oh, okay. I guess my computer wants to stop. But essentially, that's it right there. The thing with ad-libs is basically you set your mic up and you just sing whatever comes to mind, whatever melodies come, and then you pick and choose what you like, which is what we did here. We just did a multitude of different takes. And you go through and you select, hey, I like this, I like that, I like that. How do you piece it together? You put things where you want it to go, and then from there you try to fill the gaps. And that's it, guys. That's how we produced Little Too Late, our brand new single. It was mixed by our good friend Michael Child and mastered by our other friend Josh Colby. Those guys are fantastic and made the song come to life in a way that we couldn't. But yeah, I encourage you guys to go check it out. It's going to be down in the description box below. I'm going to put our DistroKid link, which will take you to all the platforms that you can listen to it. Also, there is a video on this channel right now with this, it's called the lyric video. You should go watch that as well. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And that's everything, guys. We appreciate you listening and watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. It's too late for us to turn.